4개 대륙 21개 경제체제가 연결된 협력의 무대 2025 APEC을 미래로 도약할 모두의 무대로 만들어 주실 것으로 믿습니다. 전쟁의 빚더미에서 산업화를 일궈내고 역사의 구비구비마다 민주주의를 지켜내온 우리 대한민국의 역사가 그리고 오늘의 우리 대한민국이 여러분에게 위기를 헤쳐갈 영감과 용기를 선사할 수 있기를 기대합니다. 고맙습니다.
Thank you very much, President Lee. From now on, we would like to begin our first session on global economic issues and challenges. This first session will be delivered by Mr. David Hill, CEO of Deloitte Asia Pacific. With more than 30 years of work at Deloitte, he's leading over 100,000 professionals across 23 countries. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our first keynote speaker, David Hill, with a warm round of applause.
Well, good morning, Mr. President, distinguished guests, colleagues and friends. It's a great privilege to stand here before you at this wonderful summit as the knowledge partner of the APEC 2025 Summit. The Republic of Korea is a truly remarkable nation whose transformation stands as a defining story of our era. The miracle on the Han River is exactly that, a remarkable miracle, with GDP per capita increasing from a mere $67 in 1953 to $35,000 today. A wonderful story. Likewise, this CEO Summit's theme, Beyond, Bridging and Business, is a very apt theme for our summit. I say this as someone who studied the findings and the insights from our 2025 CEO survey. And I'd like to share with you some of the remarkable insights from that survey. We were privileged to have responses from over 1,200 CEOs across the APEC region, covering more than 18 APEC economies. The first insight is a rather remarkable one, but perhaps in the world today, not surprising. And that is something that we at Deloitte refer to as the certainty gap. Confidence at home, more cautious abroad. 7 out of 10 of the APEC leaders surveyed were confident in their company's performance. Less than half were confident in the global economy. The next insight relates to growth. And perhaps for me, the most heartening finding of all of our survey was that growth remains the number one priority for the 1,200 CEOs surveyed. But interestingly, the primary driver of that growth is shifting to technology. 42% of APEC CEOs see that in 3 years' time, the primary driver of their growth will be innovation and new products. Today, that is only 29%. Again, very pleasingly and perhaps counterintuitively, international expansion remained the focus of CEOs, with more than half expecting their international expansion to double. And that will also lead to a rise in mergers and acquisitions across the APEC region. What is particularly pleasing for us is this statistic as well, that our region, the APEC region, will be the focus of this growth. More than half see their growth and their revenue being derived from this region doubling from 19% to almost 37%. What about capital and access to capital? Encouragingly, APEC leaders see access to capital improving. Those in the consumer industry, the technology, media and telecommunications industry, unsurprisingly see that capital surging with the investment in AI. And again, that will see M&A activity increasing with that access to capital. Now, increasingly, the appetite for M&A is in fact strongest in our Latin American economies. 71% of leaders there believe that they will invest in inorganic growth. Similarly, when it comes to industries, the most excited about M&A activity is the energy and resources industry, followed closely by life sciences and healthcare. So great optimism about access to capital and deploying that capital in the form of M&A. What about supply chains? We hear a lot about supply chains today right across the world. And we can see shifts occurring from efficiency to resilience. We see today that more than 50% of our CEOs are looking to diversify their supply chains, while 51% of them are investing in the digitisation and automation of those supply chains. Things like traceability through digital technology, regional supply hubs, and establishing resilience through alternate supply channels. What about public policy? There will obviously be a lot of discussion over this forum in relation to policy. Policy, according to the CEOs, is both a catalyst and a constraint. Unsurprisingly, more than 50% of our CEOs are calling for harmonisation of policy and regulation across the APEC region. And interestingly, perhaps not intuitively, 50% are calling for stronger regulation around digital and data within geographic boundaries. What is pleasing, though, is that almost universally, the CEOs are calling for greater multilateral agreements, particularly here in the APEC region. And history testifies to that. We've seen trade within the APEC economies doubling since 2006. What about sustainability? A somewhat controversial conversation today. And the results are very divergent. Pleasingly, 59% of CEOs will increase their investment in sustainability this year. That compares to only 29% last year. However, the investment in sustainability differs a lot by geography and industry. For example, in Latin America, 76% of CEOs intend to increase their investment in sustainability and see it as critical to their strategy. 69% in Southeast Asia, 68% in Northeast Asia, and 32% in North America. Similarly, it differs a lot by industry. The focus in energy and resources and in life sciences and healthcare is high. Not so much, perhaps concerningly, in the technology, media and telco sectors, where we know the use of electricity is high. Now, it's taken this long to get to AI. What's the story in relation to AI? Well, unsurprisingly, investment is strong, with more than half of respondents boosting their investment and spending on AI. But again, the results differ by geography. North America stands as the highest, with 60% of CEOs boosting their investment in AI. In the telecommunications, telco and media sectors, that rises to 70%. But what was profound is that contrary to this view that there might be a bubble, 60% of APEC CEOs said they are already seeing the benefits of AI and the investment in AI. So, when we reflect on the findings of this survey, what do we conclude? We conclude that it is one of optimism. Our CEOs across AP are what we call visionary realists. They're ambitious, but pragmatic. And they're dexterous. They're growing whilst cutting. They're playing offence and defence. They partner and they compete. And as one famous statement from Tancredi said, they recognise that if we want things to stay the same, a lot has to change. And they are changing. We see that. They are exercising what we call expansive resilience, turning disruption into opportunity and advantage. And they're doing it on the move, changing the engines whilst flying the plane. So a story of optimism, agility and adaptability. So in closing, we at Deloitte are very proud to be the knowledge partner for this outstanding summit. We are committed to working with governments, with businesses and societies right across the APEC community to build a better future. A future, as Mr. President said, built on collaboration. Why? Because collaboration is the ultimate bridge builder. It's a builder from today to beyond, a builder from local to global, and it is a builder between business and society. Bridge, business and beyond. So ladies and gentlemen, fellow delegates, we wish you on behalf of Deloitte a wonderful summit, and we look forward to the very tangible actions coming from this outstanding event. Thank you.
Let's have a good round of applause for Mr. David Hill. Well, the place was experiencing a bit of a seismic change at the beginning, but you've still managed to open up the program in the most graceful way. Thank you so much, Mr. Hill, for giving us a comprehensive overview and assessment of the current business landscape as we approach the end of 2025. Expansive resilience was the important keyword to take note of. If the stage has been cleared and the podium is ready, now I'd like to introduce our next speaker, who's going to offer further depth and perspective to the session. Mr. Matthias Cormann is the 6th Secretary General of OECD, and before taking the office, he was the Australian Finance Minister for 7 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Secretary General Matthias Cormann up to the stage with a massive round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. Dear Mr. President Lee Jae Myung, Chairman Chey Tae-won, our host, Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, friends all. Thank you very much for the invitation to share the OECD's perspectives on global economic challenges and policy measures to address them. The OECD's most recent economic outlook shows that despite high policy uncertainty, the global economy has continued to be remarkably resilient throughout the first half of this year, with annualized GDP growth of 3.2%. We project global growth to soften slightly to 2.9% next year, though downside risks to this outlook remain significant. Additional increases in barriers to trade or prolonged policy uncertainty could lower growth further by raising production costs and weighing on investment and consumption. Our assessment is that economies across the Asia-Pacific would be among the most affected by any further trade fragmentation, given deeper integration in global supply chains and higher dependency on trade in intermediate goods. Constructive dialogue, therefore, between countries remains a key priority to ensure a lasting resolution to trade tensions. All other things being equal, well-functioning open global markets mean stronger growth, higher incomes, lower costs, and better living standards. And APEC economies are a very powerful example of these benefits. Since APEC was established in 1989, its share of global trade in goods and services has increased from 39% to 45%, with increased global trade also unlocking significant increases in living standards across the APEC region. Indeed, per capita GDP in real terms across APEC economies has more than doubled since 1989, from $8,000 US to $19,000 US by 2023. We need to continue to draw on these very real benefits in terms of growth, innovation and living standards, while tackling genuine concerns about unfair trade practices, an unlevel playing field and supply chain resilience and economic security related concerns. Our strong advice to all governments is work harder. Work harder bilaterally and multilaterally to find the best possible ways to make our international trading arrangements fairer and function better in a way that preserves the economic benefits of open markets and the rules-based global trading system. Beyond enhancing policy certainty and resolving trade tensions, there are a number of other policy priorities for policymakers across APEC and beyond to pursue in order to enhance medium and long-term growth prospects. First, on fostering more resilient global supply chains. Our assessment across about 4,800 globally traded goods shows that since the late 1990s, the proportion of import concentration has increased by about 50%, and by extension, so has the risk of supply chain disruptions. Addressing high concentration-related risks by solely focusing on relocating production domestically would have a negative impact on global growth and create new vulnerabilities. Our assessment is that it would lead to a reduction in global real GDP of more than 5%. Instead, we recommend a balanced approach, strengthening supply chain resilience through diversification and modernization, while maintaining the benefits of open, rules-based international trade. Proactively identifying and mapping key vulnerabilities within supply chains, diversifying suppliers across regions, and avoiding excessive reliance on a single country, particularly for critical goods or resources. Supporting firm-level implementation of risk management strategies and responsible sourcing standards, boosting investment in risk management tools and increased digitalization to improve supply chain transparency, facilitating selective and coordinated stockpiling, and measures to help small and medium-sized enterprises participate more robustly in global value chains. Promoting regulatory interoperability and increased efficiency, especially in relation to export controls and investment screening. Integrating trade, industrial and security policies, ensuring national security exceptions are clearly defined and do not serve as disguised trade barriers. Policy responses should indeed be proportional, evidence-based and aligned to avoid fragmented responses that could undermine resilience. And very practically, strengthening trade facilitation tools to eliminate choke points at borders and lowering barriers for services underpinning supply chains, such as transport and logistics services. Second, on unlocking the full benefits of artificial intelligence for productivity. We estimate that even in a scenario of slow adoption, AI will contribute between 0.2 and 0.4 percentage points to annual labour productivity growth over the next decade. To realise these benefits, APEC economies have a number of assets to draw on: integration into global supply chains, skilled populations, and a strong base in terms of digital connectivity. To optimise these benefits, we need to further broaden and deepen the diffusion and availability of AI, particularly for small and medium-sized businesses, by boosting skills, ensuring affordable connectivity, and encouraging more competitive AI ecosystems to drive better services at lower prices. Thirdly, and finally, on advancing global tax cooperation. International tax cooperation provides businesses with the certainty they need to invest and compete, while preventing double taxation and no taxation, and alleviating the need for counterproductive unilateral measures. The OECD has a long history of advancing effective international tax cooperation, most recently with the two-pillar solution, including the global minimum tax. 71 jurisdictions around the world have already enacted or have taken concrete steps towards enacting legislation implementing the global minimum tax. In June, G7 countries adopted a proposal on the way forward for the side-by-side operation of the United States global minimum tax framework and the OECD G20 inclusive framework on base erosion and profit shifting, now subject of further discussions. The OECD will continue to support the global community in these discussions to build a fair and sustainable consensus to preserve the gains that have been made and ultimately to secure a lasting, mutually beneficial deal which will be good for growth and opportunity around the world moving forward. In conclusion, we are navigating a challenging global environment, but we do have the policy tools to help businesses operate, innovate and grow by strengthening our supply chains, unlocking the benefits of AI and promoting international tax cooperation for greater certainty and stability. We look forward to working with all of you towards these goals, leveraging data and evidence-based analysis to foster cooperation with APEC economies and beyond for strong, sustainable and inclusive growth. My very best wishes for further productive and successful discussions here at this APEC CEO Summit, and thank you again for giving me this opportunity to make a few observations.
Thank you very much, Secretary General, for such an in-depth presentation. It has definitely laid the necessary groundwork for our 3-day journey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just wrapped up our first session, and now we will move on to our second session, which is going to explore digital transformation and retail efficiency. In this session, we are privileged to hear from a total of 4 keynote speakers, all of whom have outstanding expertise in the respective field. Our first keynote speaker for the session is Professor Sung-ho Park of Seoul National University. He's going to tell us about consumer behaviors in various retail settings, especially in the face of AI and digital innovation. Please join me in welcoming Professor Park up to the stage. Do we have Professor Park? Professor Sung-ho Park? The stage is ready for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to the Digital Transformation and Retail Efficiency session. My name is Professor Sung-ho Park from Seoul National University Business School, and I'm honored to serve as this session chair. The importance of retail is rising in the age of AI and digital transformation, mostly because of the power of data. For decades, researchers struggled to predict consumer purchases using demographic variables and complex models, but improving accuracy was very difficult. But one clue has always helped: a consumer's past purchase behavior. This is the information retailers uniquely own. If you understand what someone buys, you understand who they are. For example, I have recently been searching for lutein supplement because my eyesight has worsened. My wife doesn't know, but Coupang, the Amazon of Korea, know. Ultimately, AI-driven marketing must solve the same problem, predicting and helping consumers purchase. The key to performance is data, and retailers are the ones who have it. Today's consumers see up to 5,000 ads a day. Surrounded by advertising, we choose to ignore most messages. But when consumers develop a need and start shopping, ads become useful information. Retailers are best positioned to identify this moment and deliver effective ads. Amazon's ad business now accounts for over half of its operating income. Walmart's retail media division represents about 1/3 of total profits in 2025. Bain & Company predicts that by 2030, only about 50% of retail industry profit will come from selling product. The rest will be driven by advertising and data. Retail is no longer just about selling product. It's about selling product plus selling data and advertising. Retail is also expanding fast in media, and this trend is not surprising. In Korea, Netflix is #1 OTT service, but Coupang ranks second. The pattern is similar in Japan, where Amazon OTT ranks just below Netflix. In December last year, Walmart acquired Vizio, the US TV maker. Digital TVs now allow Walmart to combine purchase data and new viewing data. TV screens has become vital channels for both advertising and shopping. All in all, I believe retail now stands at the very center of the AI and digital transformation era. In this session, we have 3 speakers who will share their insight on digital transformation and retail efficiency. First, we will hear from Vice Chairman Sang-hyun Kim from Lotte Group. Next, Robert Porter, Chief Global Affairs Officer at Coupang, will give his presentation. And finally, we will welcome Renaud Dubarbois, CEO of GS1. Now, please join me in welcoming our first speaker, Vice Chairman Sang-hyun Kim from Lotte Group.
Mr. Samuel Sang-hyun Kim, Vice President of Lotte Group. Please welcome him with a good round of applause.
Good morning. It's an honor to be speaking to this esteemed audience about retail and digital transformation. While this topic will immediately make us think about the rapid rise of e-commerce, there are also significant changes and breakthroughs happening across physical stores as the digital technology is helping to reinvent and improve, not replace, offline retail. While the e-commerce growth is impressive, physical stores still account for over 70% of retail sales in Asia. With Asian customers rapidly rising their purchasing power, they're also seeking greater in-store experience, personalization, and value when they're shopping in person for luxury, fashion, grocery, and appliances. Digital transformation is providing retailers with the opportunity to turn retail from just shopping transactions to superior shopping experience. With over 12,000 stores, Lotte Retail is the #1 diversified retailer in Korea with department stores, shopping malls, e-commerce, appliance stores, 7-Eleven convenience stores, TV home shopping, and joint ventures with Uniqlo, Muzi, and others. While we also have big e-commerce business, I will mostly share significant digital transformation happening in offline stores with some examples from Lotte Retail, as well as case studies from other retailers across Asia. I will also share the roles and responsibilities that retailers must embrace to ensure we not only provide superior customer experience, but also protect their personal data, work with government to standardize and simplify regulations, and strengthen ESG initiatives while investing in digital transformation. At Lotte Retail, planning for superior customer experience happens long before customers even enter our stores. At Lotte Mart and supermarkets, we're using AI-based infrared cameras in our distribution centers, sorting fruits and vegetables to check for highest sweetness levels, right sizes, and product quality, while another area is checking for fat level on our meats so that customers can trust they are picking the best fresh produce and meats every time they shop. Given the significant rise in tourists in our department stores and shopping malls, we have installed AI shopping assistant kiosks where we can answer any questions and suggest shopping options in more than a dozen languages. At bottled bunker wine and liquor stores, we have developed AI sommelier who can help customers choose and buy any wines for any food and restaurant preferences. At our Lotte Hi-Mart appliance stores, we have developed 3D designed for every apartment complex in Korea so that we can help our customers design their kitchens, living rooms, bathrooms, etc. with right appliances and see it virtually to help with their purchase decisions. In the grocery stores, many retailers are executing smart carts, which can help customers shop better by providing navigation, instant coupons on their preferred brands, act as personal shopper to provide product and sales information, and help them check out without standing in line for a cashier. Since the advent of unmanned stores that Amazon has pioneered, Asian convenience has continued to take it to the next level by leveraging AI cameras and smart sensors, facial recognition payment systems, and inventory robots to help with stock levels. Uniqlo is executing not only self-checkout, but by leveraging the RFID technology, customers do not even have to scan the products in the basket to pay for their choices. Another major transformation that is driving retail is the Retail Media Network, or RMN. While RMN is very well penetrated within e-commerce, with smart cameras, sensors, and heat maps, we're implementing screens in the stores and shelves. We're able to deliver customized advertising that will drive higher sales while generating the customer data and analysis to improve our planograms and customer experiences. Retailers are also able to monetize these data with their vendors so that they can execute right advertising at right time with right customers. While the biggest focus is driving superior customer experience, we're also investing in digital information and transformation to improve operation efficiency and deliver cost savings. Most retailers are all working to install digital planogramming and shelf tags to be able to create optimum category management, change prices with ease and timeliness, manage inventory in real time via AI-based sensors and digital analytic tools. These operational data are also helping the retailers do more effective staffing deployment as well as create higher efficiencies in the way we work. Digital transformation is driving not only what retailers do, but also how we do it. There are three major reasons. Shopper expectations are changing rapidly. Customers no longer distinguish any lines between online and offline. They want omni-channel experience in which they can seamlessly flow from one channel to another. They are coming to stores to stimulate their senses through interactive kiosks, smart mirrors, personalized offers, and frictionless checkout. Second, retailers can also improve operational efficiency through the application of AI-based tools and digital data collection. IoT sensors for refrigeration, humidity, and lighting have increased shelf life of perishable goods, more comfortable shopping environment, and inventory management leading to 30 to 40% reduction in food waste and energy savings. And finally, labor and cost pressures are accelerating retailers to look for new ways to improve. Given the rise of agentic AI and robotic technologies, retailers are improving back-end efficiency from improving demand forecasting to stock management, as well as strengthen their negotiation capabilities. By reducing labor costs in supply chain management, retailers can have more team members to interface with customers. As the retailers invest and adopt digital transformation for their physical stores as well as online, there are also key challenges that we must address to ensure that digital transformation ultimately rewards both retailers and customers with better shopping experience. Specifically, first, we must manage data privacy and security at the highest standards. As we collect more personal and behavioral data, it is important that all retailers practice same highest standards of personal data protection and transparency so that we never violate the trust that customers provide us. Second, we need to work closely together as industries and governments to ease and or standardize regulations so that customers can enjoy shopping in their products in-store and online. Customers are now moving from offline to online and across country borderlines with ease and no distinction. As more Asians travel broadly, they're exploring and wanting products from beyond their borders. Cross-border commerce will rapidly rise, and governments and retailers must work together to better meet customers' needs to shop for products from anywhere. Third, we need to leverage digital technology to improve sustainability. As Asian economies continue to advance, consumers are becoming more aware of the potential environmental impact and the role that retailers can play, from carbon footprints, food source and security, and reducing packaging and food waste. As mentioned above, digital transformation in AI sensors, infrared cameras, data collection, etc., will all allow us to collect and leverage data to help protect our environment better. In summary, retailers in APEC can also significantly improve in-store customer experience and business results by harnessing the digital transformation. Ultimately, customers will always seek out human interface. Digital or AI will not replace this, but enhance in-store experience and provide better human connection. Thank you.
Please join me in expressing our appreciation to our keynote speaker, Mr. Sang-hyun Kim. Thank you very much, Mr. Kim, for such a thorough and detailed presentation. Well, the retail industry is evolving faster than ever, and it's just given us a deeply specialized analysis on the current retail evolution. We have yet another retail giant on the lineup. Please welcome our next speaker, Mr. Robert Porter, Chief Global Affairs Officer at Coupang. Please welcome Mr. Porter with a big round of applause. Mr. Porter, please take it away.
Good morning, leaders, executives, distinguished guests. It's an honor to be here with you in Gyeongju. I'd like to thank the Korean government for hosting this important summit and for everyone participating in a constructive dialogue about mutual interests. This morning, I'd like to share a few insights about the future of commerce, specifically how retail innovations can enhance consumer welfare, drive investments in exports, and help produce widespread economic growth. By way of background, Coupang is a Fortune 150 U.S. technology company headquartered in Seattle and listed on the New York Stock Exchange, with corporate offices across North America, Europe, and Asia. We serve customers in over 190 economies worldwide, but with a particular focus here in APEC, including our host economy, Korea. This year, we ranked number 2 on Fast Company's list of the world's most innovative companies, largely for the ways that we've embraced artificial intelligence, machine learning, and advanced robotics in all of our offerings. We've devoted many billions of dollars to developing cutting-edge technologies and bringing American AI advances to the APEC region across a broad range of services, including retail, restaurant and grocery delivery, video streaming, fintech, export facilitation, and GPU as a service. But first, I'd like to share some retail innovations. The traditional fulfillment and logistics chain is a slow, multi-party process with seven separate handoffs, from manufacturer to distributor, from local courier to terminal. This introduces a great deal of friction, inefficiency, and wasted capital into the system. At Coupang, we scrapped this outdated model and integrated the entire journey into a single 4-step operation, from initial sourcing to the final doorstep delivery. A fully integrated end-to-end logistics system enables an unparalleled customer experience. From an apartment here in Gyeongju, if I place an order on my smartphone by midnight, the items will arrive at my front door before 7 a.m. the next morning. And that's true whether it's an iPad, laundry detergent, a new pair of tennis shoes, or a gallon of milk and fresh strawberries. We do this by using AI throughout the process to anticipate, analyze, and act at every turn. Our innovations are rooted in answering 3 basic questions. First, prediction. What do customers want? Machine learning forecasts demand so we can forward deploy millions of products to fulfillment centers closest to likely customers before orders are even placed. Second, optimization. What's the perfect path? The instant an order drops, our AI evaluates millions of variables, inventory locations, sorting paths, route sequences, delivery routes, to calculate the single fastest, most efficient fulfillment process. Third, automation. How can we achieve ever greater efficiencies? This led to our adoption of driverless forklifts, sorting robots, and automated guided vehicles in our facilities, all leveraging AI-optimized logic. I hope a short video will bring these innovations to life.
Faster, more convenient commerce. How does Coupang meet and exceed these expectations? The answer? Innovations powered by artificial intelligence and automation. Machine learning estimates order volume to stock inventory even before customers place an order. The AI also decides which shelf items should be stored and by which route items should be picked up. The AI continuously makes calculations to shorten routes while increasing efficiency. That's not all. The shelves move themselves to where our employees are, and items are sorted immediately by delivery destination, orchestrating the work of humans and AI. From the order items should be loaded on trucks to optimized routes, the AI guides everything. Despite millions of items being ordered every day, dawn and same-day delivery is possible without missing a beat. Our culture of relentless innovation fuels growth and continuous improvements for our customers. Coupang is the future of commerce. Coupang.
To those who believe such automation and
Customers
innovation
want fast-
represents a threat to employment or favors big companies in major cities, Coupang's experience has shown that the opposite can be true. While harnessing AI, we've become the #1 job creator here in Korea and are now the economy's second largest private employer, behind only Samsung Electronics, providing employment for many tens of thousands of workers. And our advanced logistics have produced growth across the economy, especially in underserved rural areas. 75% of our SME partners, 85% of our logistics infrastructure, and 95% of our delivery and fulfillment employees are located outside of Seoul. This is just one way that advanced technology can create and distribute opportunity across an economy. Such innovation also drives international commerce. Over the past decade, we've been a leading source of U.S. foreign direct investment in Korea, Chinese Taipei, and other APEC economies, producing both domestic growth and regional economic expansion. These investments have likewise helped open markets and increase trade flows. In particular, Coupang has become an export engine for U.S. goods, taking billions and billions of dollars worth of American products and American agriculture to customers in Asia each year. Bringing U.S. innovation to APEC and forging technology partnerships throughout the region not only helps advance America's global AI leadership, it also helps address persistent trade imbalances by boosting exports of U.S. services and especially U.S.-produced goods. AI-driven retail innovation can also level the playing field for small and medium-sized enterprises. Coupang's technologies and global scope enable our 300,000 SME partners to access new customers and entirely new overseas markets that they never otherwise would have been able to reach. Whether it's Carlson Labs wellness products from Illinois selling to new international customers in Asia and beyond, or local farmers here in Korea able to get their watermelons from farm to family table on the same day, Coupang's innovative services empower SMEs to grow much faster than their peers. Now, reaping the rewards of this sort of retail innovation requires a favorable policy environment. Given the lightning-fast pace of development, it's critical that regulators take a light-touch approach and remain flexible as technology advances. Most important, regulatory enforcement must be transparent, consistent, and based on rigorous economic analysis. Discriminating against some, based on things like size or success, will only starve future investment and undercut the technological advances that benefit consumers and SMEs the most. Especially in the context of current trade negotiations, now is the time for APEC economies to remove non-tariff regulatory barriers and curtail discriminatory enforcement. In partnership with APEC governments, Coupang will continue to help lead the way with AI-driven innovations that benefit consumers, create jobs, empower SMEs, drive investments in exports, eliminate trade deficits, and promote widespread economic growth. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Porter, for helping us broaden and deepen our discourse. It's been extremely inspiring to hear from these retail experts in person, and we've got one more speaker who's also expected to lay out a number of practical ideas to the session. From the Global Standards Organization, everyone please welcome Mr. Renaud de Barbois, CEO of GS1.
Distinguished leaders from government, international organizations and businesses, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a privilege to address you today, and my sincere thanks to APEC and to the Korean Chamber of Commerce and Industry for inviting me to share GS1 perspective on the future of retail. GS1 is the international not-for-profit standards organization behind the barcode. I'm here to discuss how we can build trust and efficiency through collaboration. Digital transformation offers tremendous opportunities for retail. By using new technologies, data, and artificial intelligence, we can make shopping easier for consumers, improve how business run, support sustainability, as well illustrated by the two previous speakers. Digital tools can also improve product safety and make trade more efficient. Yet, to realize these benefits, trading partners need to share data, quality data across the entire value chain, from farm to manufacturers to retailers to consumers, and across the entire circular economy, reuse, repair, recycle. One of the critical challenges they face is how to share data that can be understood and trusted. Without trusted data, none of those opportunities can be fully realized. Let's illustrate with the example of product data. Consumers are expecting more and more transparency about products. Businesses are working together more closely on supply chain, sharing data to improve how they operate. And governments want to make goods safer, encourage sustainability, and give people more power to make informed choices. One example is the digital product passport. Sharing accurate product data is essential in retail. It unlocks the benefit of digital transformation and builds trust between all those involved in the supply chain. So as we look to a future shaped by data and artificial intelligence, we must ask ourselves an important question: how to create a future where we can trust the data we receive, where sharing information is straightforward and secure, fostering competitiveness, and where businesses of every size, including micro, small, and medium enterprises, can thrive in the digital economy. Achieving this will help us bridge the present with a sustainable and prosperous future. To answer this question, let's learn from the retail history. For the last 50 years, the GS1 barcode and the GS1 standards have profoundly transformed commerce and supply chain. Today, their impact reaches all the way to consumers and patients. More than 1 billion products, different products, carry a GS1 barcode, and barcodes are scanned more than 10 billion times every day. And we are now also moving to from the original barcode to next generation barcodes, such as QR codes powered by GS1. More than 2 million companies in 150 countries around the world are leveraging GS1 standards to improve customer experience, both online and in-store, to make operations more efficient, to facilitate market access, and support trade digitalization. GS1 standards are also used to support safer, more traceable, and more circular supply chain. So what can we learn from this transformation journey to shape the future? The simplicity and use of the barcode is what made it so powerful and far-reaching. But simplicity is not the only reason for its success. Another fundamental reason is the community of companies that have decided to collaborate. Collaboration between all stakeholders is the key to progress. Without it, none of our goals and trusted data can be achieved. So to enable trusted data and interoperability, we must focus on 3 essential areas. First, trusted identification. This means using globally unique identifier combined with barcodes to link identity to reliable data. It is the foundation for secure and scalable data exchange. Second, international standards. These standards are enablers for interoperability. They allow millions of companies to share product, traceability, and business process data across the supply chain smoothly and efficiently. Third, harmonized policy frameworks. Referencing international standards, especially for product identification and barcodes, help create policies that are effective and easy to implement. By bringing together those 3 components, trusted identification, international standards, and harmonized policies, industries and governments, by collaborating, can create an environment where trust and interoperability thrive locally, regionally, and globally. Let me share an example of how collaboration can shape the future. GS1 is working with APEC on a project in Peru, Indonesia, and China to improve supply chain transparency and support trade flows within each country and across the region. This project focuses on micro and small businesses. It helped them to use QR codes powered by GS1 to share information about where products come from, how they are made, including details about sustainability. It is a pilot project designed to show how small companies can take part in a more open and digital economy. We will report our findings to the APEC Committee on Trade and Investment. This project is a clear example of how trust, competitiveness, and inclusiveness can be achieved through collaboration. In conclusion, by working together across the entire value chain, we will create trust for consumers. By joining forces with industries and technology companies, we will ensure artificial intelligence is reliable and responsible. And by collaborating industry, tech companies, government, international organizations, and standardization bodies, we'll support harmonized policy frameworks that will benefit all consumers, businesses, and society. Together, we can build a future that is trusted, competitive, and inclusive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barbois, for introducing the new barcode revolution that is taking place in the retail industry and how we can all become a part of the movement. As a wrap, why don't we put our hands together to all 4 of our keynote speakers to express our appreciation. Thank you all so much for your contribution. In the next session, we will shift our focus to the IT sector. The title for the session is Tax Incentives and Regulatory Easing for AI Data Center Investments. And 3 very esteemed CEOs of tech companies are going to take to the stage one by one. First of all, I would like to introduce someone from a household name from my point of view. Please welcome to the stage Ms. Soo-yeon Chey, CEO of Naver Corporation.
Good morning. I hope you are not hungry yet. Good morning. I'm Soo-yeon Chey, CEO of Naver. I'm grateful to be part of this meaningful event with leaders from the APEC region who are making joint effort for the AI era. Today, I'd like to talk about the AI ecosystem created by Naver. Naver started as a search engine 25 years ago, and our businesses has expanded to commerce, payments, and local services since then. We are one of the few companies across the globe that defended this domestic search engine market, maintaining our tech leadership along the way. One of the key values that Naver emphasizes as a search engine is a diversity. We were successful in defending our market and taking leadership in tech, all because of our strong belief in fostering a digital ecosystem that embraces diversity. Back when the company was founded, Korean web documents were far outnumbered by English ones. Since then, we've strived to develop a search engine specialized for the Korean language in response to global search platforms. This commitment continues into the AI era, where AI is transforming the nature of search, content platforms, and user experience. For us, AI is a tool that connects everything digital more seamlessly. It also serves as a tool that unlocks the potential of users, creators, and sellers while helping them grow. To allow for such seamless connection with the AI, we've long made proactive investments. As part of this commitment, we built our own data centers with equipment for AI innovation, which enable us to safely store user data. These efforts allow for building a full-stack AI landscape that spans infrastructure, model, and services. We have the experience and capabilities gained from developing a full-stack AI. We also have the strategy of embedding AI into our large-scale services. At Naver, we believe we can develop a flywheel that creates greater opportunities in AI. For this vision to become a reality, its benefits must be equally shared by everyone. In a recent address at the United Nations, the President of the Republic of Korea emphasized AI for all and human-centered inclusive AI. The message that advanced tech, such as AI, must contribute to the universal value of humanity is also reflected in the philosophy that we've kept for the past 25 years. Our search began with a simple belief that even without an encyclopedia, everyone should have access to knowledge. The foundation of AI that creates a better future for everyone lies in AI data centers. They serve as a core infrastructure for connecting the digital ecosystem and building a more inclusive and sustainable AI. Around the globe, governments are making major investments in AI data centers as national infrastructure to boost competitiveness and drive innovation with AI. I understand that the Korean government is also building what it calls AI Expressway. It follows the path of the information superhighway that made Korea a global IT powerhouse back in the 2000s. The government is expanding tax incentives for AI data centers. It's also simplifying admin procedures and easing location regulations. These efforts to build the AI Expressway are bringing real momentum and energy to the industry. Also, the Special Act on AI Data Centers, which includes provisions for financial and admin support, will serve as an institutional foundation for transforming the nation's industrial structure toward AI. The active effort by the governments and the National Assembly are expected to lay the foundation for AI for all and human-centered inclusive AI. These efforts will help create a better future, not only for businesses, but for everyone. AI is becoming a tool that seamlessly connects the digital ecosystem, but its true value depends on trust and cooperation. The power and environmental issues surrounding AI data centers are challenges that call for our collective efforts. I hope today can be the start of the meaningful collaboration to address them together. Not far from here stands 해인사슬 장경각, the inspiration behind Naver's data center GAC. 장경각 embodies the spirit of preserving the records of the past and the present for future generations. Carrying on that spirit, we aim to ensure that each nation's unique culture and diversity can also be part of AI ecosystem to be passed on to the future. Together with APEC economies, we'll build a partnership, one that respects each nation's unique culture and diversity while co-creating global standards. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chey, for showing your commitment to the AI for All initiative and for always advocating and emphasizing the need for human-centered, inclusive AI. I also love the idea of GAC data center and where the name came from. Thank you once again, and following that, our next speaker is set to talk about enabling AI ecosystem for APEC economies. Please welcome our next speaker, Mr. Simon Milner, Vice President of Meta.
Good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you today about Meta's AI vision. As has been explained, I'm Simon Milner. I'm part of Meta's global policy leadership team, and I oversee the Asia-Pacific region. It's a real honor to be back here in Korea, a country that has consistently demonstrated its commitment to innovation and digital transformation. I want to extend my sincere appreciation to the Korean government for their chairmanship of APEC this year and for hosting this forum. Now, AI is a real transformative technology, as I think we're all coming to realize. It's already driving economic growth, it's beginning to revolutionize healthcare, and we really believe it's set to improve the everyday life for millions of people around the globe. And Meta is actively engaged in that global conversation about AI, about its competitiveness, about regulation, about the safeguards needed for responsible development. We have a real stake in these debates, and we're helping to shape the future of AI as a company. To give you some examples, we're building advanced open source AI models like Llama. Our Meta AI assistant now serves over 1 billion users every month. And we're integrating personalized AI into wearables, such as Ray-Ban Metas and the Oakley Meta smart glasses. Indeed, I'm wearing a pair of our glasses right now. So let me take a quick photo of the group. Sure you're all paying attention. There we go. We're also partnering with the US government and with their partners to bring the benefits of AI to public services and to national security. So I mentioned glasses. We see them as the most exciting hardware category of the AI era. My clicker isn't working, so if the team behind the scenes could push it forward, please. They're the perfect device to bring AI into your world because, just like this, they can see what I'm seeing and they can also hear what I'm hearing. As our AI models improve, glasses will become the primary computing device because they are uniquely capable of understanding a human's perspective. So they're going to continue to be great for listening to music and podcasts, for taking pictures and videos. And most importantly, they will continue to help people stay present, to be tuned in to the world around them instead of looking down at their phones. In the years to come, we're focused on building the deepest lineup of AI glasses in the world for multiple use cases and settings. This is really, you should think about this in a similar way to how basic cell phones have evolved to become the smartphones probably everyone in this room has in their pocket or in their hand right now. We believe the same thing is going to happen with analog glasses. They're going to evolve to become powerful AI glasses. Unfortunately, glasses can't do the clicker, and neither can I, so if the team are able to go on to the slide after the next one, that would be great for me. Because you'll then see a picture of my boss looming over my shoulder, Mark Zuckerberg, who's brought together our AI teams as Meta Superintelligence Labs with the goal of personal superintelligence for everyone. And we believe superintelligent AI is going to be highly capable, general-purpose systems that are going to handle a wide range of people and tasks. By personal intelligence, we mean it will be practical and uniquely tailored to the individual. AI is evolving from generic tools to super smart assistants that learn from you, adapt to your goals and tasks, and help solve your unique problems. You'll stay in control with AI working for you, whether it's personalized career coaching, maybe automated business tasks, maybe if you want to do some deep research, or enhancing your safety and healthcare. This is about building super smart tools tailored to you, the tasks you need to get done, the problems you need to solve, and the things that capture your imagination. We believe this is the most important technology in our lifetime, even those of us who've been on the planet for almost 6 decades. And we want to make sure we get the best people to work in it. It's the one after this, please, that has Mark on it. Thank you. We need to back that up with massive amounts of compute, which is possible because of the strength of our business that we've built over the last 2 decades. We're going to invest hundreds of billions of dollars in this, some $600 billion in the United States by 2028. And that's into this job-creating infrastructure that we need in order to build superintelligence. We're building some state-of-the-art data centers like the massive multi-gigawatt data center clusters called Prometheus in Ohio and Hyperion in Louisiana. Don't you just love those names? We're also going to continue to invest heavily in the infrastructure for this, the subsea cables, the points of presence, the caches, to enhance connectivity, user experience, and access to technologies like AI, including across the APEC region and around the world. At some point, I hope you're going to see Mark behind me. But we're now going to go to the next slide after that. Now, we also think that AI has the potential to transform economies. Across APEC, governments and businesses, there's 2 more after this team, you can do it. Across APEC, governments and businesses are racing to unlock the promise of artificial intelligence, not just for economic growth, but to make technology work better for people and communities. That's why we've partnered with the Linux Foundation on a new study called The Value of Open Source AI for APEC Economies, to better understand how we can unlock these opportunities within and across the APEC region. And this report explores how open and collaborative approaches to AI can accelerate growth across our region, and how openness can make sure the progress reaches everybody, not just the rich few. It draws on academic literature from industry reports and research, and the views of over 100 AI experts across 10 APEC economies. And it shows that an open and collaborative approach to AI could add trillions of dollars in productivity in the next decade. It's going to transform sectors from manufacturing and agriculture to finance, logistics, and education. I recognize that it just looks like an advert behind me. Thank you, young man. Okay, let's give this a go. I believe in you. There we go. There's Mark. But now let's talk about Linux, the Linux Foundation report. Here we go. Open access is also helping emerging economies like Indonesia and Vietnam leapfrog barriers to digital growth. Open source AI enables governments, researchers, and developers to build and fine-tune models that reflect local languages, cultural norms, and priorities, strengthening trust and inclusion. And we already see great examples of what this looks like in practice. In Singapore, where I live, IC is using open source AI to help blind and visually impaired people to navigate the world around them with greater confidence. In Japan, Jamstack is using open models to advance scientific discovery and environmental research. And in Korea, AIM Intelligence is using open source AI to make technology safer and more culturally aware, fine-tuning models for the Korean language to address sensitive topics and to strengthen AI safety. These examples and others show how open collaboration drives innovation and improves lives. And Meta is committed to supporting this in partnerships with governments, industry and researchers to invest in local talent and digital infrastructure. Through such collaboration, AI will not only power economic growth, but also help to build a more intelligent, innovative, and inclusive future for everyone. Now, zooming out, there's clearly a huge amount at stake. At the moment, American AI leads the world, but no country can afford to slow down. Developing leading AI is critical to the economic and national security of the US and its allies. It allows the US to maintain its position as a global economic leader and to set standards for responsible technology development. We have made Llama available to US government agencies and partners, including those working on defense and national security applications. And we're collaborating with companies like Palantir and Anduril and Lockheed Martin to bring Llama to government agencies. Now we're beginning to expand our work beyond the Five Eyes countries to include other close allies of the US and Europe, and here in the Asia-Pacific, including Japan and Korea. So Meta actively engaged with governments, educators, NGOs, and industry to co-design and scale AI programs. There are a number of examples that are shown on this slide, but those include in Singapore, we've worked with the government on a Llama incubator program, which has now led to more than 30 use cases across different sectors. In Vietnam, we have Project VGen, developing high-quality Vietnamese open data sets. In Mexico, we've partnered with University Centro to certify more than 1,200 students in the Llama ecosystem. We're upskilling businesses, including in the US itself, in Australia, in Indonesia, Malaysia, New Zealand, and Thailand. And our online campaigns have now reached more than 366 million users in APEC economies. Our AI digital literacy program called We Think Digital has expanded to include modules and been developed in partnership with partners including, for instance, Korea's Center for Digital Literacy. We have partner-led programs to support national AI literacy frameworks and curricula and training as well. We are really committed to the future of AI and the future of AI for people. We believe this is the key form factor, glasses, and I encourage you all, if you've not done so already, to visit our stand so you can try them out for yourselves. I want to say thank you very much for having Meta here at this really important CEO platform. The APEC region is uniquely positioned to lead this next wave of AI-powered transformation. Let's work together to embrace open source AI as a lever for inclusive economic growth, for social resilience, for technology leadership. Through doing this, we can ensure the opportunities of this remarkable technology can uplift all our economies, our communities, and ultimately all of our people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Milner, for sharing your company's essential AI vision. And I think I owe you an apology for the lazy clicker. I have to admit your glasses work better than the clicker. But thank you anyways for the excellent presentation. We have one more speaker for session 3. I hope the clicker will be okay. Having built and launched many of his company's foundational services himself, he's going to speak about the next chapter, how AI agents are reshaping business. Please welcome Mr. Matt Garman, CEO of Amazon Web Service.
Thank you, and good morning to everybody. It's great to be here with you all. Appreciate you having me. Now, as you kindly mentioned, I've actually been at Amazon and AWS since we first started the business about 20 years ago.